Hello everybody, thank you for coming to take a look at what I've been making. It's a beautiful sunny day here in the UK, very heavy frost this morning, but it's absolutely gorgeous outside. So I thought I would share with you what I've been making over the weekend before I go out for a nice long walk. I had the Motherhood kit from Mrs Cogs Crafts and I wasn't sure what to do with it. And then late last week I watched Tracie Fox making a file folder. I think it's one of Tracie's older videos, but it really inspired me to give it a go. And so what I thought that I would make is I had some old fabric and Tracie's video of the file folder. So what I've done is I've made a soft cover fabric that's blank inside and a file folder with the ephemera kit from Mrs Cogs Motherhood. So I'll take you through it and show you what I've done. So as I say, this is a soft cover journal. I think there's around 60 pages in this. It's old curtain fabric on the front and it's an envelope, so it does crinkle when you crinkle it. On the inside there's a piece of fabric. No, it's not fabric even, it's lace. That's at the front and it's at the back, and it's lined with material as well. It measures just over 5 inches by 7.5 inches, and I've left the front cover plain because the idea is that somebody would have this set and decorate this themselves with what I've given, and of course add their own touch to it as well. So the inside of the journal, as you can see, I've used some old-fashioned type of papers. The backs of the papers are, I think they're avocado dyed, and because it's Motherhood, I've included a very old knitting pattern page with a baby's matinee jacket, so I'm sure you can knit it up if you feel like it. So lots of space, and there's also some pages from an old sewing book that's children's garments. So lots of space to decorate this yourself. Again, the knitting pattern page. Decorate it yourself, add things to it, write in it, stencil on it. I thought it might be an idea for somebody who's not too sure of making the actual journal themselves. The middle there is just has some buttons on it, and of course they can be cut off. You don't have to leave those on at all. So again, just flipping through the avocado pages, old-fashioned wallpaper, children's garments book pages, sewing pattern. So as I say, I think there are doily there. I think there were 60 pages in this in total, so obviously there's room for it to expand. And then in the file folder, so thank you Tracie for the inspiration on this. Tracie made a big one and a double one, but I only had this small kit from Mrs Cog. Well, it wasn't really small, there's 4 pages. So I thought we'll try it. So on the front there is one of the images from Mrs Cog, and on the inside, I'll just move that book slightly. On the inside I've made some ephemera to go with the book. So there's, these tags are images from the kit, and they're also pages from an old Observer book. So of course, if you look at the book, they can either be stuck on and used as a tuck spot or clipped to the side of a page. There's an envelope here where it's a flip down tuck spot. So again, that can be stuck on a page there or pinned to the side of it. Lots of space. I didn't put anything on the back, any paper on the back for journaling, because I thought if you stuck it down, you wouldn't need it. But of course, if you wanted to use it as a floating page, then you could put some paper on the back. That says Motherhood on there, and that's a library pocket. So again, that can be clipped on the side of the page or stuck on, and that has some paper on the back for journaling on. Another tag there that again can be used as either stuck onto the page and use as a tuck spot or just use as a tag. This is, again, all of these have images from Mrs Cog on, from the Motherhood set. An image there, beautiful image of a mother and a baby, and that flips up, plenty of writing space there, and a pocket just there for you to tuck. And again, that's a page from the sewing book that I had. And I've put paper on the back of there so you can journal on it. And again, you could flip it over the page if you wanted to. Would probably go the other way, wouldn't it? Silly me. So it could go over the page. You could stick it down on the page and use it as either a side tuck there or a top tuck there. Or again, you could use it as a floating pocket. That's just a large journaling card that again can be stuck on the side and used as a tuck spot or clipped onto the side or tucked into a pocket. I did a couple of corner tucks with some of the paper I had left over. So that can either be a top tuck spot there, or you could use it as a bottom tuck spot there. And there are two of those. And then there's two envelopes that I've included. One says love and the other says cherish. And on the inside of this one are some of the journaling cards that I've backed, all of them backed in the pink tea-dyed paper. So of course they can be used as journaling cards, or again they could be used as a tuck spot if you wanted to. Just need to be stuck onto the side. So I've included those in one of the envelopes, and of course the envelope can be used to decorate one of the sides of the envelopes, of the pages. And then the other envelope, beautiful image there as well, and that has just the remainder of the kit that I didn't use, so I've included those so they can be used anywhere as well. Let your imagination run wild. So that's what I've included in the little file folder, so thank you Tracie for the inspiration for that. So they go with that, with the book. And I'm also going to include some things to help you to decorate it. So I've made a couple of fabric ruffles in the flower, like a rose pattern. And there's enough actually to go down the page 4 times. And this can be glued onto the side of the page. So there's 2 lengths of that. I've got 2 paper bags that can be used. So these can be used as they can be stuck onto the side and used as a flip. They can be stuck onto the page. They can be folded and used as a tuck spot. So I've included 2 of those. I've got 4 coffee dyed paper doilies, so I'll put those in as well. So they can be used to decorate however you want. I've included some little buttons in the pink and blue and the cream, so they again they can be used to decorate. What else have I got? There are some little paper flowers here, different colours, pinks and greens, that can be used, put together and stuck on the page, or added anything anywhere you want to use to embellish. And I've also got some lengths of lace, so again there's enough of this lace to go down the page 4 times if you wanted to, and this can be glued onto the page. I use this lace quite often. There's another piece here that has the little flowers on. There's some pink here, and again there's enough there to go on the page twice if you wanted to, and you can actually thread ribbon through that one if you want. And there's a little bit of crochet cotton that I had left over, and there's also a little bit of the fabric left over that you could stick on and use as a belly band, or you could attach it, sew it to card and have it as a pocket if you stuck stitch some card onto the back of it. It could be a tuck spot pocket, or it could go down the side. Again, sew it to some card and then stick it on the side, and it could be a nice tuck spot there. So if you did that, you would actually have 2 out of that piece. So that's what I did with Mrs Cogs, beg your pardon. I do apologise for the noise, somebody started an engine up outside. That's what I made with the Motherhood set from Mrs Cog, and I will list this in my Etsy store, and I hope that it will inspire somebody to make a lovely journal for somebody, maybe for Mother's Day. I do hope you like it. Thank you all for the inspiration. Thank you very much. Bye bye.